One of the biggest stories of today, and it is a good news story. China has announced it will drop the crippling tariffs on Australian wine. The government is using this as a big win for them. And as I said, it's a good news story. But I feel like in some ways we're forgetting the fact that when China did this, it was horrific, undeserved, unfair, and hurt so many people very, very much that we shouldn't suddenly be so grateful to the wonderful Chinese Communist Party for reversing it.
Trade is important, and trade is a win-win for everyone, not just for areas like in my home state of Victoria, the Yarra Valley or the Mornington Peninsula or other wine regions, including in South Australia and other areas. It's also important for the consumers. So the consumers in China who want quality Australian wine, they lost out too. And there should be processes to this. And I would have liked to have seen this continue to a hearing so that we would have had proper confirmation that this wasn't started by Australia. It wasn't Australia's fault. It was an arbitrary, capricious decision, and it should never have happened.
In pretty humiliating news today for the South Australian government, less than 10% of eligible voters cast their ballot for the state's historic First Nations Voice to Parliament election. So out of an estimated 27,500 Indigenous people on the electoral roll in SA, less than 3,000 turned out to vote. What does that say to you, Keith?
It says that governments need to listen to the electorate, that there is goodwill and good faith throughout Australia to improve the lives of Indigenous Australians. Everyone wants that. Every reasonable person wants that. There are exceptions, of course. But I think when you look back to the voice referendum we had nationally, a clear message was sent from Australians that that sort of divisive institution is not the way to go about it. So I'm surprised that the South Australian government is pressing on. And when you look at the no vote, it was particularly high in South Australia. I
Yeah.
think the South Australian government need to listen to their own people.